Hello everyone, I want to warmly welcome you back to this channel. Today we're just coming to understand about plagiarism, types and prevention strategies among others. But by definition, plagiarism, this is just the act of using someone else's ideas, words or work and presenting them as your own without proper acknowledgement. It is a serious issue in education, research, professional work because it violates academic honesty and intellectual property rights. So let's look at the types of plagiarism. You get to know that the first type of plagiarism is direct or verbatim plagiarism. Let me talk of this type of plagiarism. It's just copying text word for words from a source without even quotation marks or citation. The best example of this direct plagiarism can be copying a paragraph from a textbook or submitting it. You copy a paragraph from a textbook and you submit it as your own work. You get a way of presenting it from that textbook. The second type of plagiarism is paraphrasing plagiarism. This paraphrasing is writing someone else's idea in your own word but without giving credit. The best example for this paraphrasing plagiarism can be changing a few words in a sentence but keeping the same idea. For example, when you are reading a novel like this, you can get some words, you use your own word, but it has to be the same meaning without changing anything. And the third example of plagiarism is self-plagiarism, reusing your own previously submitted work without permission or acknowledgement. And the best example here is when you submit the same assignment for two different courses. That will give you a self-plagiarism. The second last type of plagiarism is mosaic or patchwork plagiarism. This is just mixing copied phrases or ideas from different sources without proper citation. And the best example here I can say, when taking bits of information from several websites or from other applications in your gadgets like phones or desktop. And the last type of plagiarism is accidental plagiarism. For example, when you fail to cite sources or misquoting due to lack of knowledge or care, or when you just say you cite it accidentally. And for example, when you forget to include references or citation details when you are trying to come up with some article like this. So this is all with the types of plagiarism. So let's look at the consequences, some consequences of plagiarism. And the first consequences you have to get is academic consequences. Under these academic consequences, let me talk of loss of marks or failure in assignments. That is academic consequences of plagiarism. Or suspension or expulsion from schools. You can be suspended or dismissed from school. And the third, under these academic consequences, can be damage to academic reputations. And the second consequences of plagiarism is legal consequences. Under legal consequences, you get violation of copyright laws, possible fines or legal actions. And the third consequences of this plagiarism is professional consequences. Under professional consequences, you get loss of jobs or career opportunities, damage to credibility and trust, among others. And the second last consequences of plagiarism is personal consequences. Under personal consequences, you get loss of integrity and self-respect, and reduce the learning and skills development. So let's look at the prevention strategies, how to prevent these consequences. One of the way of preventing these consequences is when you cite or reference properly. Always credit the original author using styles like APL, MLA, or Harvard. And the second prevention strategies is when you use quotation marks, like when you copy exact words but put them in quotation marks and cite the source very well. That can also prevent it. And the third is paraphrase correctly. For example, when you write ideas in your own words and still include a citation, that would be one of the best way of preventing. And the second last is keep the track of sources. For example, take notes of all books, articles, and the websites you use. You have to be keen there. And the last is use plagiarism checkers. Tools can be used to help to detect copied content before submissions, and you can also understand the topic when you read and understand before writing to avoid copying directly. So this is all with plagiarism. So in conclusion, let me conclude by saying plagiarism equal to using author's work without credit. It can be intentional or accidental. It leads to serious academic, legal, and personal consequences. It can be avoided through proper citations, paraphrasing, and honesty. Thanks for listening. My name still remains Alema Bob Tibio. This is all with plagiarism. Thanks.